This is Tech Gears. My name is Levi, and I had some really cool updates today. The A9 III has been floating around Chicago in different camera shops, and I was finally able to see it, hold it, and talk to the rep, and I can't wait. Super impressed. First thing, the actual grip. I know they talk about it, everyone said it, but yes, it does feel much better. This is definitely one I may be able to use without a grip. Now, I don't have huge hands, but super comfortable. The way the buttons feel, the way they're laid out, you can definitely feel an improvement and update. The body has seen another evolutionary change as Sony has done, kind of with their A7S III, the A7 IV, R5, and now the A9 III, where they continue to evolve that full frame body. Now, as far as the questions I had, I don't know if you guys had it from a video shooter standpoint, one key thing I was interested in is it is the first camera from the ZV-E1 to have dynamic stabilization. So this is really cool. Heads up, I can confirm. Maybe they change it on the full update, because right now it's the pre-production firmware, but dynamic stabilization is only good up to 4K 60, which is still excellent, by the way. So if you're doing 4K 60, which I think is probably the most common, you're going to be able to use dynamic stabilization along with the 8-stop IBIS and have incredibly smooth footage where, yeah, you may not need a gimbal on this. Second thing, I can confirm, this is the first camera Sony has made, period, that does support not only full frame with no crop on 4K 120. Other cameras have had a 10% crop or 1.1, which is negligible, really. But it's the first camera that actually not only does it full frame, which people have noted, but also does Super 35. So if you are a prime shooter like me, where I shoot, say, a 24 and 50 millimeter lens, I can shoot in not only 4K 60, punch in for a Super 35 crop and really not lose any quality in video. I can go to 4K 120, push in for the Super 35 crop, and I'm not losing any quality, and you're just extending the use of the lenses you already have, which is really cool. Now, one thing I imagine they're to continue, because they have in the A7C II, like I'm using here, is the eye tracking does work with clear image zoom. So being able to use a prime lens just went a lot farther with the A9 as far as being able to use Super 35, use full eye tracking with clear image zoom, and then obviously you have the global shutter, where you're not going to have any banding or rolling shutter to begin with. Now, I will say my last concern is, what is its ISO performance? How is it in low light? So I did a very basic test. I actually pumped up the ISO all the way to its max at 25,600, and then I closed the shutter all the way down to I think 18, you'll see in the B-roll here, as well as I put the shutter to the max it would be anyway for video, which is 250. And you'll see from the image here, it definitely looks usable. It's not as noisy as I thought. Now again, this isn't final firmware. This is something that even the rep said there's things they're going to add and improve. So you want to take everything with a grain of salt. But otherwise, the overall ISO performance, I want to say, is going to be better than something like the A7R5, which again is still an improvement over the R4. It may or may not be as good as the A1 or A7 IV, but based on the rep, he said it probably will be better than the A7 IV. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll see. Again, it's only a 24 megapixel sensor, so it is grabbing more light than a 33 or a 50, as well as it's just a powerful processor. So this is really shedding some light if you're considering using an A9 III for video. Some exciting updates, some exciting news. Hopefully this answers some of your questions like it does mine. If you guys have any more questions, I'm not sure if I can really answer them. I don't have the camera in hand, but I'm glad I was able to see it, touch it, ask some questions, and help you guys out. This is Levi with Tech Gears. I'll come at you later.